We've already gone through some things that happen when you draw boundaries on a map and create a state. Can you think of some other things that are going to happen when you draw boundaries around a state? Well, first of all, take a look at this. Now look at this. What differences do you see between them? Okay, the first thing, obviously, is size. The one on the right-hand side is significantly bigger than the one on the left-hand side. What's the other thing? Can you think of what it is? Location. Very good, right? The one on the left-hand side is on the left-hand side. The one on the right-hand side is taking up most of the rest of the screen because it's significantly larger. They are not in the same location. When borders are drawn around India, India cannot, like a baseball team, decide what it wants to do is trade places with Bolivia. That doesn't happen. Take a look at the countries of the earth. Here's Russia up here, you can see that. Look over here, you can see Canada, China, Australia, Brazil, the United States, including Alaska. Can you see how those are all very large countries? And then some second level countries like Argentina, Mexico, Kazakhstan, India, Algeria. You can see that all those are fairly substantially large countries as well. Okay, so the question really becomes this: the size and location of states. There are going to be advantages and disadvantages to size and location, as you can probably already guess. There's a kind of luck or lack thereof of resources and accessibility when you draw borders around a country. In other words, does it have access to the things it's going to need, including transportation? This is one of the things we talked about when we were talking about shapes of states. And what about resources? Does it have natural resources or not? Well, small, or what we call micro-states, as you're aware, they might get lucky. Kuwait is a very small country. It's about the size of New Jersey, yet it has something like 8% of the world's oil. The larger the state, the greater the likelihood of luck, though. It's kind of like this. If there are 100 tickets in a lottery, and one of those tickets is going to be the winner, and you buy 90 of those tickets, and then the other 10 are spread around 10 other people, you have significantly increased your odds of winning that lottery, even though it's random. About 30% of the surface of our planet is covered with land. So that's the area we're talking about, not the 70% that's covered with water. So who is the biggest in land area and who is the smallest? Let's put some numbers on this, okay? So here's the list of the top 20 largest states. Notice the first 10: Russia, Canada, China, the United States, Brazil, Australia, India, Argentina, Kazakhstan, and Algeria. Okay? Now, these are the top, or however you want to look at it, bottom, smallest states. So you can see the Vatican, whether that's a country or not, still Monaco, and then you can go right through that list of the top 10 smallest states. These are the leading countries in natural resource value in trillions of dollars. And what I want you to notice right away is this, okay? Russia, the United States, Canada, China, Brazil, Australia, India. Literally, those are the top 7 largest countries in land area on Earth, not in order, but those are the top 7. And notice, they are 7 of the 11 countries on this graph. And in fact, Saudi Arabia and Iran are both in the top 20 in terms of largest countries. And then we have Iraq and Venezuela on this list as well. So at least in terms of natural resources, it seems if you draw a really big country, you may very well be hitting natural resources. So does size matter? It seems to, at least on the surface, doesn't it? Let's check out a few other factors. So we know about population because we've already gone through it. China is the largest country in the world in population. India is number 2. The United States is number 3. Indonesia, and then so on down that list. And keep in mind, even if a country has a lot of natural resources, if you're going to make the country itself wealthy and the people wealthy, you're going to have to spread that resource wealth and whatever other way you generate wealth amongst the population. Well, if your population is 1.4 billion people, that's a lot of people to spread it amongst. Now, this is population density, which we call arithmetic density. So number of people per square unit, kilometer, mile, whatever way you want to look at it. And you can see some of the countries on here: Macau, Monaco, Singapore, Hong Kong, Gaza Strip, whatever. Okay, you can see those are very densely populated areas. And this is market value of publicly traded stocks. So this is the value of the stock market. And look at who is number one. Keep that in mind. And if you look at the top 10, notice that the United States, China, Canada, India are all in the top 10 in terms of overall land area, but the other 6 are not. And just to give you an idea, look at that place right there is the hundreds, this is the thousands, this is the millions, this is the billions. Yes, that number 25 is trillions of dollars. Now look at these two weird things, natural gas and oil. Whether they're going to be important in 100 years or not, I don't know, but they certainly are important now. And if we look, take a close look here, you can see, starting with natural gas, Russia. See that? At the top, largest country in land area. And you can also see China is in there, Algeria. Now look at oil. Well, Russia's not at the top in that. Russia's number 8 in that. Canada's number 3, also a very large country. But notice, this is speaking to a little bit of luck, isn't it? Because a lot of these countries are not substantially large countries. They just happen to have gotten lucky and gotten those natural resources. Now, what is this? This is average income per year and average income per month. Average. That you take everybody, you add it all up, you divide by the number of people in the country. Now, of course, this can be a little funky, right? Because if you have 5 people in the country and one person has an income of $10 billion per year and everybody else has $1 per year, what does this average out to be? $2 billion per year when we know it's not really that. So it's a little bit sketchy to use this, but at least we get an idea and notice. Do you see the United States in the top 10? So do I. Who don't you see? Well, down to 22, I don't see any Russia and I don't see any China. Oh, wait, there they are. There's Russia at number 36 with $10,690 per year, $891 per month, and China at $10,550 per year, $879 per month. Let's go back to the United States and take a look at that. $64,550 and $5,379. Yeah, kind of substantially different, isn't it? So size matters, but other things matter too. The top 10 richest countries in the world by GNI, which is gross national income per capita. There's a whole bunch of things that get mixed into this. And notice, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Norway, Luxembourg. Oh, there we are. We are indeed the United States cracking that top 10, despite the fact that we are the 3rd largest country in population. The wealth gets spread around more than it does in those super large countries like Russia and China. Top richest countries in terms of GDP, which is gross domestic product. Sorry. So what that is overall production of products per person, per capita. And notice Monaco, which is a lot of shenanigans going on with banking and stuff. Same thing with Luxembourg and Liechtenstein and Switzerland and Macau for that matter. But notice the United States, top 10. Now, median income, that means half the people are above and half the people are below. And notice once again, the United States cracks that top 10, as does Canada. But I don't see any China and I don't see any Russia. Here are the 10 richest countries in the world. This is in terms of overall value. The United States, look at this, is in trillions of dollars. China, okay, so they make it in there because they do produce a lot of things, but it doesn't get spread around so well. So does size matter? Yeah, but sometimes luck can make up for that. Luck like a country like Kuwait, the size of New Jersey, that has 8% of the world's oil. And sometimes smart decision making can make up for size as well. This is the reason these countries that have banking industries like Switzerland or Liechtenstein are wealthy. This does not look at human diversity, though, which is likely to increase as the size of the state increases. Not always, but generally that's what's going to happen. But that's coming up.